I wanted to make a video about a topic that I have a bit of a bone to pick with, and that's Kambo science. I hear and see so many people say, oh, there's all this science around Kambo that proves it, and there's just all this science, and that's just not true. There's some science, there's not no science, but the science that exists is pretty limited. It's basically not in humans, and it's not on Kambo. There is some research that was largely done by Vittorio Espramer in the 90s, after Peter Gorman gave him a sample. And so most of the biochemical basic information on the peptides that we know of were done, 20 some odd years ago. And most of that research was done in, either in vitro, which means like in petri dishes, so not like a live organism, or if it was done in an animal in vivo, it was an animal in guinea pigs and rats and mice and dogs, and not humans. There's very little actual research on any of the peptides in humans. There is some research that has evolved in analogs of these peptides that people have created to turn into pharmaceutical drugs. So at least there is some evidence in humans of these isolated cousins, of existing peptides. But there really isn't any research on these Kambo-derived peptides in humans, and even the animal research is very sparse. Then, let alone research on Kambo as a whole. Because Kambo is not one peptide. Kambo is not, dermorphin injected into a tissue of a mouse. It's a ritualistic experience with context that's administered through transdermal application of burning, and there's a whole cocktail of peptides that we have to consider. And there's really no research on human beings participating in receiving Kambo peptides in that manner. If you look online, most of the stuff about Kambo is case reports of harms or hospitalizations or toxicity or things like that. And then, there's a couple of papers published, including one of mine, that's just some data from people doing surveys or, dosage that they're using or whatever. I recorded some physiological outcomes just to see how often are people fainting, how often are they having a bowel movement, are there any correlations between dosage and face swelling, things like that. But it's very, very limited. And so really we need to stop saying to people, oh, there's so much science on Kambo. There's not. That's not true. There's some. We understand a little bit about the peptides, but that's not what Kambo is. It's not one peptide. So we need to be honest and realistic and have discernment about what is actually acceptable evidence that we can use to support selling someone on Kambo. And the truth is, it's just a mysterious substance that we don't know a lot about yet. Right now I'm at the tail end of finishing up what I think is the first prospective human research study on Kambo in human beings in a ritual where they're getting burned and having the Kambo applied that way. And to my knowledge, this is the first study where we're actually looking at a before and after comparison of people who go through this experience. So it's really exciting. It's a brand new field of research, and there's so much novelty that is there to be explored, and I hope it grows. I hope that there's interest in it, and I hope that we can start to collect some data to actually support what we already know as practitioners, which is that this medicine is amazing, it's an effective tool, and it helps people. So that's what I hope that we can really illuminate with our research, and also show who it doesn't help, show how it hurts people, because that's important too, to maintain a neutrality around science, to make sure that we're really exploring for the sake of exploring, rather than exploring so that we can prove ourselves right, because that can be dangerous as well. So please be realistic, be honest about what we know and what we don't know, and the truth is, we don't know shit about fuck. So keep supporting science, keep participating in science, and keeping honest with people about what you know and what you don't know about Kambo.